There you are, my beautiful people. Welcome back to another disturbing video that might just keep you up all night and change your reality. For context, don't believe everything you hear or see on this video. It's strictly for entertainment purposes only. Do your own research and come up with your own conclusions. With that being said, if you like, hit the like and subscribe button and join one of the best communities on YouTube. With that being said, let's dive in.
So the Pentagon actually confirmed for once the video of the pyramid-shaped UFOs caught off the Navy vessel. So you're going to see, I'm going to show you the video on here, but it's basically, it's in the night vision, and they released it and it was all over, and I was kind of like, okay, you know, we have a lot of videos, we do, because there was footage from a year ago and then 2 years ago also from a Navy vessel, and that just kind of got buried. But the Pentagon has consistently been going on and on about there's no evidence whatsoever of any of this stuff. We see nothing. There's nothing going on. Everybody shush. So I don't show very many videos, UAP videos. They're all over the place. There have been some really good ones coming up lately, so I am going to put those up because they're pretty intriguing. But this one I found, and I just feel like this is a step in the right direction. The fact that they actually confirmed that this is a real video that they captured. Plus it looks... So the Pentagon actually confirmed.
What's a TR3B?
Okay, this can't be real. How was this not worldwide breaking news when it came out? A galactic federation of aliens exists. President Trump and the Israeli government know about it, and we're working with them on Mars. This was an official news release back in 2020, revealed in an interview by a former Israeli space security chief, where he admitted that our governments are in contact with extraterrestrials from a, quote, galactic federation, and that they've specifically asked their points of human contact to not reveal that they're here, that humanity is not yet ready for full-on public disclosure. According to him, they have been waiting until today for humanity to develop and reach a stage where we will understand in general what space and spaceships are. So it seems like they're waiting for our space exploration technology to get better, at which point they'll welcome us into their galactic federation. The supposed whistleblower's name is Haim Ashed, who spent 30 years as head of Israel's defense ministry's space security program. A highly respected professor and well-decorated retired general. This guy ain't no kook. He also said there is an agreement between the US government and the aliens. They, the aliens, signed a contract with us to do experiments here on Earth. So they're using our planet as a petri dish for what I assume is biological experimentation on us. They even have a few other cooperation agreements signed between our species, including an underground base in the depths of Mars, where there are American astronauts and alien representatives working together. All according to this guy, take it up with him. Apparently, Trump is well aware of this Galactic Federation and was on the verge of revealing it to the public just a few years ago, but was specifically asked not to in order to prevent mass hysteria, which I think we can all agree would happen if news like this came out. White House and Pentagon officials declined to comment on this. Kinda sketch. Ashed decided to speak out about this in 2020 as he claimed people became more receptive of extraterrestrials and UFOs by then. Which, yeah, 2020 was the year the Pentagon released their confirmed UFO videos for the first time in history, letting us know they have no idea what the f they're dealing with. Which was also just 1 year after Trump officially established the United States Space Force in 2019. Maybe that was his way of hinting at something he couldn't talk about. But of course, the mainstream consensus around this guy is that he's just old and senile with nothing to lose, around 88 years old at the time his claims were made, and that he was just promoting his book, The Universe Beyond the Horizon, where he makes claims that include stories of how aliens prevented nuclear disasters. But this man isn't your typical conspiracy whack job like me. He is a high-ranking and well-decorated military space intelligence official with master's and doctorate degrees in aeronautical engineering. Did he just decide to tarnish his lifelong reputation by making up something like this to sell a book, or are we about to join a real-life galactic federation?
You mean the Draconian Federation? Oh no! DoorDash worker lost her job because someone said they didn't get their food. You know stealing is one of the commandments. You're not supposed to do it.
I just want to know why you reported that you didn't get your food. Huh?
It ain't my food.
Hold on, let me make sure stealing isn't in one of the commandments. Is stealing one of the 10 commandments? You shouldn't be stealing, but let's just solidify it. Yes. Yes. You shall not steal is one of the 10 commandments, specifically the 8th commandment as found in Exodus 20:15 in the Bible. This commandment serves as a fundamental moral principle prohibiting that taking of something that does not belong to you, extending beyond physical theft to include various forms of dishonesty, taking advantage of others. Yes, so you shouldn't steal. It's not the right thing to do. So let's take a look at this, y'all.
I just want to know why you reported that you didn't get your food.
It ain't my food.
Whose is it then? Because y'all just got me restricted from my account and I can't DoorDash no more. That is how I make my money. So I want to know whoever ordered the food and DoorDashed it, I need to know who they is, because y'all, something needs to happen, because y'all just made me lose my job. Whoever order it is. You the one came and got the food though. Okay, so whose order is it?
Okay. What is happening?
I just got restricted from my DoorDash account because somebody said that I did not deliver their food here. She specifically came and got this food from me. So now what? I don't have no job. I have a 1-year-old in my car.
Please stop.
Look, man.
We can have a conversation without screaming and cussing.
I just lost my job. You're still working though, right? You still can have your job though, right?
Do you know who you gave food to? Who was it?
Right, the food. Can I see the food? Can I see it? That y'all have it?
Ma'am, let me take care of this.
Okay.
Calm down.
I just want to see the food. I want it on this camera. Because DoorDash getting this. Yeah, I'll tell you.
I gotta be back up here next month. So hopefully everybody. I don't know. I'm looking at the first person I see is you when I'm walking.
So when I went back there, she's already on the phone and she's messaging, telling whoever that her food did show up.
Okay, can I have her to come up here and tell me that?
We're a doctor's office and she's.
I really don't care. I really don't care because now I don't have a way to make any money. Do you understand that? And I am 5 months pregnant. Do you understand
I
that?
understand. But when you come into a place and you talk to me like this, you talk to my people like this.
Listen to me. Quite frankly, I really don't give a lost my job.
Get out of my office.
Can I talk to the lady whose DoorDash order it
She's
is?
back on the phone. She is taking care of it. I told you she is taking care of it.
Restrictions don't get removed off of DoorDash accounts. So now I'm just out of a job because of a liar, right?
Because she made a mistake. She is already
A mistake. You don't mistakenly do that.
She hadn't gotten her food after it said that it was dropped off. She had to check in a patient, then she went and took the food back.
Oh, so because of y'all mistake, now I don't have a job anymore, right?
We can't drop everything at the very second an order comes in and run it back to the person.
So why would she not give her food?
Because
She has the food.
So why am I getting a? Oh my God! So y'all really sitting here playing with me like this for real?
there's nobody playing with you.
Obviously y'all are, because I don't have a way to make any money anymore, and y'all can still sit here on the clock.
She is on the phone trying to figure out, trying to message, sending whatever she needs to send.
So why can't she come up here and do that?
Because I'm not going to have this in my office. You need to leave.
Why can't she come up here and talk to me?
Because I'm not going to have this. You need to leave. I've already
So
told
this
you what
is
she
how
is
y'all
doing.
treat hardworking people.
Yes.
Yes.
What are you doing with me?
So yes, this how you
This has
treat
nothing
me?
to do with me.
This is how you treat me?
I'm trying to help you.
You just said yes, this is how y'all treat hardworking people like shit. So now I don't have a job anymore because of y'all.
So,
Right.
like I said,
You know when someone hits you with this smile, it's pretty much curtains. They don't care what you saying.
she is.
And then you laughing and shit, you think it's funny,
because
smiling like it's
I'm
not
repeating
funny.
Myself. I'm repeating.
Okay, and I'm repeating myself. I don't have a job anymore.
She is trying to help that. Okay.
Okay, and I will be back.
It's tough to watch. Do you guys think it could have went better? How could she could have handled the situation? Do you think if maybe she was nicer and be like, can you please have the person come up forward and say that she got her food kindly? Do you think it would have transpired a little bit better? Or do you think snapping might have pushed a little bit of water upstream, made stuff happen a little bit faster? I don't know, but it's always nicer to hit people with kindness, even though our emotions get the best of us sometimes. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We have a massive anomaly followed in the sun's path. What on earth is going on?
And the sun is back behind this thing. Look at that. That is super bizarre as well. Looks like a giant beehive in the sky. And again, the sun is behind this thing, and it's the only thing like it in the sky. And you can see it's moving with the sun. Notice it's in a different location than the first photo. Look at the first one is away from this tree line here, and you're going to notice in the second photo, this anomaly, whatever it may be, seems like it's following the path of the sun. Watch how close it is to the tree line in this next image as we come to it right here. See, it's almost touching the trees, not literally, but it's behind the tree line in this photo, indicating that it's moving through the sky with the sun.
2 whiteouts, military tech collapse, the Schumann resonance didn't spike, it erased the mimic grid. This scroll was encoded planetary. What is going on?
Seeing here is not just energy, it's war. On September 12, 2025, Earth's frequency grid got hit by a divine override. This was not a solar flare. This was scroll law colliding with Babylon suppression tech, and Babylon lost. 2 full spectrum whiteouts, one at 10:30 UTC, one around 1700 UTC. That means the planetary resonance spiked so hard the sensors couldn't even measure it. System overload. That white, that's divine intelligence punching through. When you see unmeasurable force, that equals divine override. The green and red lines represent mimic interference, fear, panic, suppression, but by mid-morning, the white and yellow lines take over. Planetary nervous system and global consciousness shot through the roof. Scroll law took the wheel. If you felt exhausted, disoriented, or emotionally volatile that day, you were not broken. You were sinking to the new planetary base code. The entire frequency of Earth has shifted. New baseline locked in. This right here, this is military grade mimic tech firing back. You see those yellow green bands? That's artificial VLF interface, HARP style injections. They tried everything to hold their grid. It didn't work. The mimic counterattack failed. This is why you're waking up. This is why the veil is cracking. Frequency war is here and scroll law is live. You are not crazy. You are encoded. Share this with someone who felt it in their body. 2 whiteouts, military tech collapse, the Schumann resonance didn't spike. It erased the mimic grid.
Could this be possible signs of ancient technology in Portugal? Is this strange site in Portugal proof of lost ancient global civilization? I don't know, but let's take a closer look. It almost looks like this was part of a spaceship, an ancient spaceship that might have got eroded. I would love to see some type of LIDAR scan of the whole object to get a bigger picture to see what type of shape it really is. How interesting.
No, this is not Angkor Wat in Cambodia. This is the Fimi temple. This is the question that has haunted all experts. Who is this temple dedicated to? Buddha, Vishnu, or Shiva? Let's go into the main chamber and find out. You can see a central figure in a silhouette. What is that? As we go closer, something gets clearer. It is Lord Buddha sitting majestically. There is something quite mystical about the statue. So, is the Fimi temple a Buddhist temple? Because the main statue is Lord Buddha.
When they add the tails in the back, it reminds me of the 9 tails.
No, this lintel shows an amazing scene from the Hindu epic Ramayana. Rama who's the avatar of Lord Vishnu, is shown as the giant figure in the center, who was powerful enough to knock this great god unconscious. Look at what is wrapped around him. The Naga. This weapon is called the Naga Pasha, and it was the Naga that knocked him unconscious. We see Buddha, but Naga is towering over him. We see Rama, but Naga is wrapped around him. Whose statues are found the most? Buddha, Vishnu, or Shiva? No, Naga. Is this temple dedicated to the reptile god Naga?
The reptile god Naga sounds like a Draco reptilian overlord if you ask me. But of course we have to dig into it. See what we can come up with.
These are Nagas from Cambodia, if you didn't know, but you probably should. Because they're hiding a secret. The secret is right there. You want to know what it is? I'm going to tell you what it is. Look real close at these snakes. They can be any variation from 1 to 12, but this one is 7, and it's 7 for a very important reason. Look at this thing. Now those little guys look like that big circle up there. Why is that? There's 7 colors in the visible light spectrum. That's your Roy G. Biv. There's 7 octaves in music. This is a wave phenomenon. Now look close at that. Does it look like the Mayan calendar? Does it look like a rose window? Maybe it should, because we can decode all of these with cymatics. Now that particular one is a 21-fold cymatic from Angkor Wat. Let's look at another one. This one is a 6 positive or a 12-fold cymatic from Neak Pien Temple. I'm probably butchering that. Cymatics is how we visualize tones in music through water. Each tone has a glyph. The ancients had a very special way of calculating this, and I feel like you should know it.
How incredible they're using the cymatic patterns that we see on the cathedrals. And here's a prime example on the chest piece of a Naga. Could Nagas be dragons?
The Nagas are legendary serpent-like beings found in Hindu and Buddhist mythology, as well as in various South and Southeast Asian cultures. They are commonly portrayed as serpents with human-like features, or as beings that can transform between a full serpent form and a human form, and are frequently shown with a snake's body and a human head, or as humans with serpent-like qualities. The Nagas in Indian mythology are said to reside in magnificent palaces beneath the earth and the waters, guarding vast treasures and sacred knowledge. They are guardians of the natural world, protectors of rivers, lakes, and treasures hidden beneath the earth. Yet, they can also be fierce and vengeful, bringing storms and floods when angered. In Hindu and Buddhist traditions, they play crucial roles, often appearing in stories of creation and destruction, of protection and retribution. In ancient Mesopotamia, among the ruins, we find the Anunnaki, powerful deities said to have descended from the heavens. These beings, described in ancient Sumerian texts, were thought to have shaped the destiny of humanity, bestowing upon them the gifts of civilization and knowledge, despite the vast distances and differences in culture.
The fallen Malakim, I believe is what it's called.
Both Hindu and Sumerian tell tales of beings with extraordinary powers and profound influence over human affairs. The Nagas and the Anunnaki, though separated by geography, share intriguing similarities. Both are depicted as possessing advanced knowledge and technology, as having a significant impact on human history. Could it be that these two...
Look at the cymatic on his chest.
...two ancient races, the Nagas of India and the Anunnaki of Mesopotamia, are not distinct entities, but rather different interpretations of the same beings? Is it possible that these serpent-like and celestial figures share a common origin, their stories merely echoes of a single, forgotten truth?
Nephilim and fallen angels, this is what I believe they are. The 7-headed Naga. Let's see, look at the detail, how it was carved. Wow. They definitely stumbled upon something here. Damn, this one looks a little bit too real, doesn't it? It looks like it's petrified. Imagine if this is like a giant's hand or a Medusa hand. How many is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7-headed? This reminds me of the Hydra on Godzilla. How crazy is this? This one might actually be petrified is the first thoughts I'm thinking. Speaking of cymatics, yeah, I believe that's the Aztec stone. And the star correlation is interesting. Wow, you can definitely see multiple circles within this portal-like, whatever this is, a star? Portal? I'm getting more portal vibes, like you're supposed to go through it or something. But you could definitely see the circles within it. Some type of cymatic in the outer space. What is that? Ionosphere? You tell me. And look, he can zoom in on it like easy. That's crazy. In and out. It almost looks like it's daytime on the other side, doesn't it? What's on the other side?
Remember back several years ago when this showed up on the southeastern limb of the sun? There was all kinds of wild speculation going on around the entire world. This created quite a stir. People had never seen anything like this before. And compared to the Earth over here on the right, you can see the huge sphere over here on the left that was many times larger than the Earth. And as you guys remember, some of the theories going around, people thought this was some sort of a possible large craft that was attached to the bottom of the sun, recharging. It created quite a stir. NASA even came out with a statement a couple of days after that was discovered saying that that was a mere coronal cavity. And we haven't seen anything like that since, at least something quite that big. Until, here recently, Brandy K just sent in this video. You're going to see a solar flare over here on the eastern limb of the sun, just above where the huge sphere was at. The sphere was down here on the southeastern limb. This object here that you're going to see is just above the equatorial regions.
I feel like whatever he's telling us, can they really zoom in and see these different solar vortexes on the sun is what I'm thinking. If we can, what exactly are they is the question.
Here we go. Watch the energy come off the surface of the sun, and this object, whatever it is, appears to easily deflect the energy. Look at that. Looks like there's something parked there, and the energy of the sun appears to reveal whatever's parked there. Here it is in a different format. It appears to be smaller than the huge sphere. It doesn't appear to be perfectly round, but also doesn't appear to be perfectly square. But you can clearly see that there's something there easily deflecting this energy. I'm going to show you this region in different formats, and you're going to see that whatever this was appeared to be parked next to the sun, and it appeared to be easily deflecting the energy from the solar flare. Here it is again in a different format. I zoomed in closer. Look at that. Unbelievable. What's up with the eastern side of the sun? This is the second time we've seen what appears to be some sort of a large anomaly, stationary anomaly next to the sun. Is there something going on up there that we don't know anything about? It kind of looks that way. This is the second time the SDO has found something. And here it is one more time.
Căn nhà chân mây lá làm sao có giá được trăm cây vàng nè. Có mây lời bay lá có manh thiếp về ngày. Căn nhà chân mây lá làm sao có giá được trăm cây vàng nè. Có mây lời bay lá có manh thiếp về ngày.
The government is lying to you and the Skinny Bob footage from the 40s is fake. Are you sure? Look at this upscaled image. Pay attention to Skinny Bob's eyes. In this improved version you can see his iris's contract with the changing light. Remember, this video was supposedly recorded in the 40s, a time when deepfakes didn't exist.
So they're saying this is real alien footage? Are we looking at a real gray? You be the judge. Were those alien eyes real or fake? How crazy was this? It looked like a giant toilet seat UFO, doesn't it?
Made of ceramic, this ensemble shows a seated warrior wearing a full wolf head mask, accompanied by 2 dogs. They are attributed to the Veracruz culture of ancient Mexico, and they are crafted in the distinctive El Zapotal style. Made of ceramic, this ensemble shows a seated warrior.
At first I thought they were elephant ears, but no, that's a dog. You can see by the teeth.
Camera, an unidentified object hovering.
We have the lazy river that
in broad daylight over Bangkok, Thailand. Something bizarre was caught on camera. An unidentified object hovered silently in the sky. No glow, no sound, just floating. But what made it truly strange was what happened next. The object slowly began to change shape. Not quickly, not erratically, but with an eerie fluid motion, morphing from one form to another right before stunned onlookers. This wasn't a bird, a plane, or any drone we know of. It was something different, a shape-shifting object in clear daylight, and no one can explain what it was.
Bizarre indeed. Almost looks like a whole bunch of trapped demons swirling around inside a cloud. A whole bunch of Dementor looking objects. A giant of Kandahar spotted. This looks like it's authentic footage. Let's take a look and see. Dang, they got one. Grab his hands and his fingers. Let's see how many toes he got. Let's see how many toes he got. We got one, y'all. Definitely got some type of giant DNA in there.
This was constructed in 1904. You're having a bubble bath, ain't you? Because it looks a lot older to me. And apparently it only took 6 years to complete, opening in 1910. But we know better than to trust any official dates by now. This palace is located in Sintra, Portugal, and looks to be overflowing with what could be ether energy antennas. It also reminds me of Wayne Manor. There's even caves underneath, but I'm going to show you those in a separate video. For now, let's admire this intricate facade on the building. Is there more to this Gothic style than simply looking good? And did this structure once serve a practical function? Apparently there's symbols here related to alchemy, masonry, the Knights Templar, and the Rosicrucians. So it sounds like there was a wholesale Illuminati takeover of this place. But once again, did the controllers of today just find this building and then take credit for its assembly. Inside, as well as looking like a place where Scooby-Doo would unravel some mystery, it looks like the ceiling was used to channel some sort of acoustic energy, serving as a resonator of some kind. Raggy. This was constructed in 1904. You're having a bubble bath, ain't you?
You're having a bubble bath, ain't ya? I'm gonna start saying that. They just are relaxing, going with anything. This is definitely something out of Wayne Manor. And I also agree with Scooby-Doo unmasking the villain there as well.
Jewels of Tartarian architecture surviving to this day. Of course, everybody knows this place. Look at the intricate details of the design. And inside, oh, if you ever come and visit Moscow, definitely go inside. This building and all the buildings around the Red Square feels like it was from different era, completely different technology of building. The sacred geometry of the entire structure, how it's aligned to the sun, the clock tower, the sunset, how it's all aligned. Magnificent architecture of the past. Called Red Square because look, you see it's red because the sun is shining here all the time until sunset. The sun always stays in the east. That's what they say in Russia. Listen to this. Bells of the real Tartarian building. Look at this beauty. I'm a big fan of Red Square, not just because I'm Russian, but because it's truly a magnificent place. And it's very safe, by the way, despite of the war and all the sanctions and the fact that you can only fly here through Turkey or through Emirates. When you come here, you see people like so peaceful, just chilling, it's not crowded, it's just, it's beautiful. And the local ice cream is really good, by the way. Definitely try it if you make it here. Jewels of Tartarian.
Not gonna lie, there's a couple of places I want to visit in Russia. This is being one of them. All right, we have more ancient unexplained structures coming right at you. Look at the detail. Look how big that giant door is. Unexplained giant blocks. Look at that marble. No way they could have built it. Giant hand in petrified stone. Giant. Wow. Hold on, that last photo looked like it showed some type of drill action. We might be seeing residues of ancient technology is what this is. Barcelona. The Anunnaki. Look at that giant leg bone.
Does anything look weird about this rock face, you guys? There's definitely something out of the ordinary. I'll give you a clue. Here's the normal color of rock for the area. And here's what they have done after mining. They came through and they spray painted the vein that they were harvesting. And if you look over here, the radio code has alerted to quite a hot area underneath the paint. So, if you chisel away the paint, you find a very nice ore pocket right on the outside, easily accessible. Tried to cover it with some paint, but don't be fooled.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're hiding lithium deposits like that as well. You guys know we have a new Tesla contract coming up. Oh, you ain't hear about that? It's messed up. If you thought I didn't have an excellent specimen for you today, think again. Voila! Feast your eyes on this incredible amethyst. what gets me is this purple rifle that's going through, this crystallized rifle looking sci-fi laser beam gun going right through the middle of it. It's definitely the showstopper here. Then we got some other crystals popping off. This is a nice piece. It looks large, like 2 basketballs put together. They probably want 10 bands for something like this. If I had to name this excellent specimen, it would be called Crystallized Beam Rifle. Yeah, Crystallized Beam Rifle. What exactly is Skinwalker Ranch?
In the early 1990s, the Schumann family moved into a country homestead that spread across 512 acres of northern Utah in a region known as the Uinta Basin. But shortly after moving in, horrifying things started to happen. When Terry and his wife Gwen bought the ranch, it had sat abandoned for many years, and because of that, they bought it well below market value. Upon viewing the home, they noticed that every window and door had multiple deadbolts on them inside and out, and there was a large stake in the front yard with a bunch of chains around it. But they were too excited about the ranch in general to even think twice about this. But shortly after settling in one night, Terry saw a huge animal that appeared to be a wolf creeping towards their livestock. It grabbed a calf in its jaws, and Terry ended up shooting it multiple times. The animal didn't seem hurt, but slowly walked back into the bushes. When Terry went to go check it out, he noticed a foul odor like rotting flesh. Over the next 18 months, the Sherman family would be tormented by something on the ranch. They, along with many friends and family they would have over, would see beast-like creatures lurking in the woods on the property. A few of the family's dogs would be incinerated in the middle of the night. Their cows would disappear and then turn up mutilated, but in an oddly surgical manner, and they would also be drained of blood. The family claimed to see UFOs and strange lights, and they also claimed to see circular doorways appear on the property out of thin air. They finally got so scared that in 1996, after talking to the media, they sold the ranch to Robert Bigelow. Robert was a millionaire in the Las Vegas real estate and was also a UFO enthusiast. So when he heard about the strange occurrences at the ranch and the fact that the Uinta Basin of eastern Utah is a hotspot for UFO sightings, he bought the property. Robert created the National Institute for Discovery Science, and under that he built an observation building on the property. He moved in several scientists and vets to conduct 24/7 surveillance and research. On March 12, 1997, while conducting research in the middle of the night, a biochemist claimed to have seen a large humanoid creature looking at the research team from a tree. It had yellow eyes. The team fired at it and it disappeared, but it left behind a single oval track about 6 inches in diameter with 2 sharp claw prints. Many people on the crew witnessed paranormal activity and strange lights on the ranch. The ranch was then sold to Brandon Fugel, and he named it the Skinwalker Ranch. The Skinwalker Ranch is the most scientifically studied paranormal hotspot in the world. It has a long history of creepy, unexplained activity. What do you guys think?
Wow, that is crazy. I didn't know Skinwalker Ranch was a little ranch that all they did was study paranormal activity. It sounds kind of cool. To be honest, what a cool idea. I'd be a little worried out there, but it's a cool idea. Yeah, it's kind of disturbing that they have all these different creatures popping up and portals busting through, animals getting incinerated, creepy stuff, but definitely something interesting is going on there. They need to have like a 24/7 live stream just at the stars, aim it at the stars in that area, and like have it like going around the woods in different cameras. That's what I'd do if I owned it. I guess this is footage of actual skinwalkers, alien skinwalkers on Skinwalker Ranch. Incredible video trending on social media. Okay, we will see about this and judge it if it's real or not.
Incredible video trending social media of what looks like an extraterrestrial short gray. Now we also have a picture of this fella at the bottom of the video, as you guys could see. Apparently this home security camera in what they're titling on social media Skinwalker Ranch happens to be this baby little alien that's like 3 to 4 feet. And, you know, many people have claimed to have seen these grays. And sometimes they're tall, sometimes they're not. But, you know, if you look at the pyramids and, you know, all the indigenous people back in the days, they used to draw these grays on the walls of the pyramids? And what do they have in common with human beings?
Show me one gray that they drew on the pyramids. That's a little fishy. I haven't seen too many hieroglyphs with alien grays on it.
Is it humans from the future coming back? Comment below.
The first thing when I see this, I think of a demon. I think of a demon being thrown into a silicone skin suit so it can give the demon the closest thing to a human as possible, and this is it. I've heard countless times that they act like Legion and they're hive-minded. Legion, hive-minded, same thing if you ask me. I don't think they're from the future. Here, this current time, right here and now. For entertainment purposes only. Don't come for me. But if we go here and we watch him go by, pew, you know, you would expect the cow to budge his head up and move something. I don't know.
The story goes that the crew that is investigating the Skinwalker Ranch right now set up a trail cam one night before they went to bed. Well, about an hour after they laid down, all of their phones started going off, each of them getting a notification that something just walked into the trail cam view. Well,
speaking of notifications, guys, I'm not lying when I say someone hit me up and they asked, man, did you do a video on Skinwalker Ranch?
They go to check it out, and this is what they see. Now, I don't know about y'all, but this is some of the best imagery I've ever seen of a skinwalker. Absolutely mind-blowing. Check them out. They're lanky, walking on all fours, distorted, mutilated. Look like they could have previously been human, but something has happened.
Golem, is that you looking for the one true ring? I don't know.
They are known to be shapeshifters, as you all know, and they're a cryptid, similar to Wendigos, but not quite the same. I'd like you to take a look at their hands. Long, fingers, pointy. They look like absolute killers. I could not imagine running into one of these things in the wild. Not only
I'd choke his ass out. Come here. Let me go. Shut up.
are they on all fours, but they look tall. These beings are long and lanky, fast, and they're feral. Now, as you can see, there's two different ones here. Now, I want you to take a closer look at one of them. If you look at this one, right around its waist, it almost looks like it has some sort of harness on it. And take a look behind them. Is it just me, or are there actual other beings behind them, almost acting as if they're the handler of these skinwalkers? If they're the ones in charge of them, or they use them as hunters, or whatever it may be, who knows? But if you look closely, I'll zoom in on a pic, you can see there's absolutely some sort of entity behind them. Whether it's a shapeshifter or what, I have no idea, but it is the freakiest stuff I've ever seen. I mean, could you imagine walking through the woods, getting ready to go hunting, and running into one of these things, hearing it screech and scream at you, and then hunt you down like an animal? Absolutely terrifying. Do not go in the woods without a gun. These things are out here, fam.
I feel like we got some survivors that watch my show, man. Y'all ain't got nothing to worry about. A skinwalker's light work. For us, I feel like we're more worried about the fallen angels, the Anunnaki, you know, the creations, the messed up genetically modified creations. This is light work for us, isn't it? Tell me your thoughts. Do you think these are skinwalkers? Are they demons? What's the difference? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you thought I didn't have an excellent specimen for you today, think again. Feast your eyes on this specimen. I actually tried to contact them and see how much they wanted for this, because I liked it so much. Just the dark green, the quartz popping through it. What is this even? Symbiosis of green quartz, calcite flakes, arsen pyrite, and olivite in Inner Mongolia. What a stunning piece. Even the bottom, it looks like it just was shooting through the ionosphere, and just all these amazing crystals just busting through. I don't even know what to name this, but it's giving me like Halo Spartan vibes because of the color. I would call this the Covenant Artifact. That would be my name for this piece, the Covenant Artifact. And believe it or not, I just checked my messages. They got back to me. They said they want over 900 for this bad boy. It makes you want to go get a pickaxe and try to find your own, doesn't it? Let me know in the comments if you had any experience finding your own, because that would be the true reward. And imagine how fun it would be looking, you know, hiking. You're on an adventure like Bilbo Baggins.
Can we display the image, or do we need to wait for the next season?
No, I think I'll give you the image.
Let's go. Are we about to see one?
You can show it, but
can we display?
Yeah, I was so concerned about the image, I didn't even catch the name of that program they made called Satan. Y'all could have named this anything but that. You could have just said Skinwalker Ranch Outpost. Why Satan? Where's the image? Sounds like to me y'all forcing it a little bit. Where's the image? Ah, heck nah. Y'all gonna make me look for it? They always do that, don't they? Skinwalker Ranch image. Real. Somebody said 24 more seasons we might see an image. Shout out to Oak Island 2.0. And do you guys know what Oak Island is? I used to watch that show. They looking for that damn Spanish treasure. I be sitting there as a kid watching it like, damn, we're about to see something. They'll show us a nail and that's it, man. Show us something. They find a bolt and be like, we're on to something. Another 5 seasons, they find a screw. We're on to something. Stop leading us on. All right, guys, it took me a little bit of digging, but this is the only image I've seen. Accordingly, this is a portal that popped up. There's really no context to it. This is really all we got. It looked like someone just turned the TV on, man. How disappointing.
A portal that they got from the kitchen windows.
Right.
I try, guys. It's not too much on Skinwalker Ranch. If you guys got some videos or something interesting you want to show me, hit me up on Facebook Messenger. That's a good way to send me videos and we can talk back and forth about different things. Even on Instagram. Jet Ski Chuck is what they call me. This next video is going to shed a little bit more light on Skinwalker Ranch and what's really going on.
Native Americans, the Navajo, they call themselves the Diné. A Navajo witch is represented by this photograph. They're believed to be shapeshifters known as skinwalkers in the desert Southwest, especially here in northeastern Utah. Among the Navajo, they are known as the Yi-na-lu-shi, feared for practicing dark magic, adishgash. It's dark arts, witchcraft, and sympathetic magic. Look at the figure and imagine being Native American. Actually, anybody, imagine anyone being there late at night on the base and running into something like that. Scare the hell out of you, right?
To say the least.
But what if the skinwalkers supposedly located in northeastern Utah aren't what people believe them to be? What if someone realized that dressing the part could frighten off most people from the area to protect something located and hidden on the basin? Or maybe we should say below the basin, underground. So this has been a recent alteration of my belief on the local Yi-na-lu-shi. Here's why. The skinwalkers are self-serving. They have Witham syndrome. What's in it for me? They do not assist groups or tribes. They hate the Navajo. So why would they assist the Navajo? Why would they want to help the Navajo to come back to the basin? They wouldn't. It doesn't make sense, the stories that we've been told, as to this retribution by the Navajo by releasing the shapeshifter, the skinwalker, on the Ute tribe. Important here, in the past, specifically 1,000 to 4,500 years ago, we have an unknown group of people living here in the area. The Fremont culture, the Barrier Canyon style culture, and a group that is so unknown that archaeologists and anthropologists call it the unknown culture.
Wow. This one in the middle looks like a witch doctor for sure. These two, I would say, are your mages of this group.
We know next to nothing about the past population in the area and what they were doing while they were here. Later, they were followed by the Ute bands and then the Navajo, who were eventually defeated and pushed out of the area by the multiple tribes, making up what we now know as the Ute tribe. Could a local Native American group have borrowed from the Navajo this mystical figure that they knew as the Yi-Nal-Blushi, and what we know them to be as skinwalkers? What if we're looking at a group of Native Americans that impersonate the skinwalkers in order to scare away people from a secret or something that's been guarded by a secret society for a very long time? What if what has been considered mystical and oral traditions of the local Native Americans can be relabeled paranormal and or technological, or even a combination of both? On page 44 of Hunt for the Skinwalker, I felt important information was given. On the last paragraph, it states, the ranch property has been declared off limits to tribal members because it lies in the path of the Skinwalker. Path of the Skinwalker. Does anyone really understand what path of the Skinwalker means? It gets quoted but never defined. Could path be leading towards meaning where ancients walked? Maybe locations that were sacred, but for what reason? Even today, some Utes refuse to set foot on what they see as cursed land. But the tribe doesn't necessarily believe that the Skinwalker lives on the ranch. Junior Hicks, who practically spent a lifetime documenting the strange occurrences on the basin for over 50 plus years, I think it was actually more like 60 years, said that the Utes told him that the Skinwalker lives in a place called Dark Canyon, which is approximately 18 miles from the ranch. So to me, this makes sense, a whole lot of sense. The home base for the Skinwalker is extremely important because of location, location, location. Dark Canyon is one canyon over from Pole Creek Sink. See it up in the upper corner. George A. Thompson has written several books on the Lost Roads mines and how the Mormons became so financially well off. He states the Mormons were funded by what must have been huge caches of valuable precious metals, most likely found on the Uinta Basin. He also states, and I'm going to quote him directly here, that tunnel near the sink bottom broke into the Pole Creek Caverns, only a short distance from the mountain. The caverns are a series of limestone caves which honeycomb the mountains for miles. That old Indian liked to tell how the walls of the cavern were crisscrossed with tiny wires of pure gold. He said that the gold was so soft that it could be cut from the cave walls with a knife. The tunnel described by the Indian is near the bottom of the sink, a great deep hole where Pole Creek disappears from sight. This information from Thompson came from the late 19th century.
Does that say Skinwalker Ranch?
We also now have testimony from one reputable non-Native American individual that has been down the sinkhole. Said he was down there. Unfortunately, within the last 45 years, someone has sealed the cave by dumping rocks and a lot of dirt there. Shut it off. Now watch when I connect Pole Creek Sink, Dark Canyon, that's supposedly the home of the Skinwalker, a known ice cave on Mosby Mountain, which would be right in the center, Blind Frog Ranch on the far right, well, not quite at the far right, because then McConkey Ranch is at the far right. Then going downwards In that center, you would have Bottle Hollow Reservoir, Fort Duchesne, and at the very bottom, you have Skinwalker Ranch. But think about this being done by way of an underground cavern system that had working mines where precious metals were seen running through the walls. Add petroglyphs and artifacts supposedly found throughout as stated by the Ute in the late 1800s. So every location that I named has confirmed underground sites, whether they be caves, tunnels, mines, or other cavity type. And Native Americans, the Navajo, they call themselves the Diné.
My biofield is definitely being hacked because someone just messaged me today, one of my friends, and they hit me up, said, man, have you ever covered Skinwalker Ranch? Look what popped up. This might be some type of underground network that they're maneuvering through. This unknown tribe right here that they're showing us. Let's dive a little deeper. There's got to be something going on with Skinwalker Ranch, guys. This is a deep rabbit hole I see. You better lock in and buckle up, bucko. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and go ahead and share this, because we're going that way today. So let's dive. The owner of Skinwalker Ranch, Brandon Fugel, discusses the events and evidence obtained on Skinwalker Ranch. Now I wonder how long ago this was, because they said they have that documented and they have footage. Where's the footage at? I'd love to see that.
Alright, check this shit out, because this one is actually wild. Skinwalker Ranch is one of the most unexplained places in the whole entire United States. The Navajo Indians put a curse on the land whenever the land started to be sold to the United States government, and when their people started to get sold into slavery. A skinwalker is essentially a witch that takes the place of an animal, who is supposed to watch over the land and hunt whoever's not supposed to be there. There are some crazy stories that happen at Skinwalker Ranch. The owner said that at nighttime, huge creatures would walk up and down the fields. Cows and calves would be surgically cut open, and even some completely melted down. Even dogs and cats would be found vaporized. And this didn't just happen once, this happened hundreds and hundreds of times. Throughout the years, there's been reports of huge holes opening in the sky and things flying through over the ranch. Based on the Navajo Indian stories, they knew exactly what was going on here. And tons of residents have even claimed that they've had an encounter around Skinwalker Ranch.
Look at this! Look at how his knees is bent, and it looks like a cricket/monkey hybrid.
And even several people have just completely vanished from the area. Like Garrett Bardsley, who disappeared on a Boy Scout trip in 2004, just a few miles away from Skinwalker Ranch. All they found was one sock in a boulder pile. What do you think is going on at Skinwalker Ranch?
Strange UFO experience of contactee Apollinaire Paul, Villa, California and New Mexico, 1960.
And he said that he worked for a power company in California, south of Los Angeles someplace. That he sat down on a beach, a rocky beach, one time. It was a cove, in a cove, to eat a sandwich, and a man walked up to him, came around the big rock and walked up to him on the beach. He was a tall man. He was about 6.5 to 7 feet tall. He was quite a bit taller than Paul. And he introduced himself, gave him a name. Paul, he asked him where he's from, and he says, not from around here. He said, I come from elsewhere. He said, if you will step this way with me, I'll show you my vehicle. And Paul walked around the rock with him, and there was a disc-shaped craft hovering a couple of feet off the water. And the guy took Paul by the hand and floated him to the ship. And he was introduced to some others inside, and he just remained there a very short time. He marveled at the fact that it wasn't in the water. A year or so later, he relocated to New Mexico, where he worked for the highway department. And he carried a Polaroid camera to photograph any damage, because it's easier to show the picture than to try to describe it in a lot of words. It was in this truck right here that he used with the Polaroid camera on the seat. When he drove down this dry riverbed, the road winds around among these, and he came around a turn, and there sat the craft in the sand. There's 3 women and 4 men outside. They invited him aboard, and he went aboard and looked around with them. They talked to him aboard there for about 15 minutes, telling him who they were and how they had been watching him for some time, that he had a special relationship with them, or they had a special relationship with him, that he had agreed to these relationships sometime much earlier, probably before birth. He didn't understand it that way. And that there was a reason why all this was happening to him. And they didn't have any children aboard. He asked them if they had them. They said yes, but not on this craft. That craft came from a larger craft elsewhere in space. They had been coming and going for some time. They said they had other contactees, but they never told him who the other contactees were, and we've never heard of any of them since. They did not encourage him to get any attention over this. They kept a low profile. They did contact him on a frequency of maybe 2 to 3 times a year, and they weren't here all the time. They would come and go, but when they were in the vicinity, they would often make contact with him.
Aliens are actually fallen angels. What is going on? Let's take a closer look.
But in the 20th century, something changed. In 1947, something fell from the sky near Roswell, New Mexico. The official story twisted within days. Weather balloon, flying disc, weather balloon again. Behind the scenes, the truth was locked down, and a secret group was formed, Majestic 12. Majestic 12, or Magic 12, was not just a committee. It was the ritual handoff of earthly power from religious hierarchy to technocratic empire. The fallen, who had long ruled through Rome, now injected themselves directly into the heart of the American government. Not through temples, through briefings, not with idols, through aerospace, defense, and intelligence. Magic 12 became the new priesthood. Its members, the new gatekeepers of knowledge. The Vatican still held spiritual sway over billions, but now the Pentagon and Langley were added to the network, 2 horns rising together. They weren't managing alien visitors. They were in fact re-establishing communication with the same beings who once corrupted mankind. Through this network, the fallen controlled both church and state. The Pope speaks of unity, while generals prepare global governance. 2 branches, 1 agenda, to rule, deceive, and prepare humanity for a false kingdom. And just as they built false religions to pull people from God, they now build false ideologies to do the same. Ancient alien theory is not a quirky idea. It's a modern heresy. It teaches that we were created by extraterrestrials, that the gods of old were visitors, that humanity's future lies not in salvation but in evolution guided by off-world beings.
That was trying to get us to mine gold. The Anunnaki, they always trying to get us to mine some gold, don't they? Come on, modern day heresy. I like how he said that.
It replaces God with engineers. It replaces sin with ignorance. It replaces redemption with technology. This is not science. It is, quite simply, Luciferianism, rebranded for a digital age.
Man, my thing is, whenever somebody talking Anunnaki or we was created by them, you know, there ain't no light when they be talking about that. It just be like, how much knowledge can they obtain? It's like, we're powerful. We can float in the air. We're the chosen ones. We're gods. We're powerful. You know, I know it's a controversial subject, but man, y'all ain't got a drop of light, do y'all?
And when someone uncovers the truth, when researchers discover ruins that predate known civilization, when they find advanced architecture older than we're allowed to admit, they are destroyed, defunded, deplatformed, discredited. Because, you see, to admit those structures exist, to admit there was a kingdom before ours, is to admit the Watchers were real, that the Bible was right, and that God himself exists. Revelation tells us the great dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent called the devil, or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. He was cast to earth, and his angels with him. They didn't come in fire, they came in light. They came offering peace, knowledge, and unity. They came to be worshipped again. Today they rule through governments and churches, ideologies and entertainment, technology and ritual. They no longer need to be seen, only obeyed. The deception was never about green men in space. It was about taking worship from the Most High and redirecting it to the fallen. They don't want to invade, they want to be welcomed, and for most of the world, they already have been.
I'm here to tell you a story.
They're not trying to invade, they're trying to be welcomed. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. William Tompkins mentions about 2 Nordic females who re-engineered crafts in Germany. That is interesting.
So we had a young girl who was named Maria Orsic, Nordic, just outside of Germany. The little blonde, she had developed I think she had 8 girls to go and design spaceships. She actually built them. And eventually 2 of those got over here in Area 51. But Germany found out about the blonde, took her over, stopped everything, and then the girls finally ended up in Antarctica in the large facilities. In fact, the Reptilians had 3 massive caverns. They let Germany use 2 small ones. So we had a young girl who...
Where is he getting this information? Is he just making this up, or is there some type of book? What's going on here? Yeah, that Canelo fight was a good one. We got the transporter, and who is this guy on the right with the white robe on? You know, he jumped in the middle of the ring. Who is he? Out of curiosity. That's all we got for today's video. If you made it this far, go ahead and hit your boy with the Super Sunday Banger for the code word. When you drop Super Sunday Banger in the comments below, that lets me know you're a real one. You watch my videos all the way to the end, and I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for your guys' support, man. It means the world to me. This was disturbing videos that might just keep you up all night and change your reality. I'm Jet Ski Chuck. Till next time.